Ja oikein hyvää päivää täältä FINNRUNS 2025 Winter-editiosta. Seuraavaksi meillä olisi erittäin mielenkiintoista World of Warcraft Mythic-runausta, missä meillä on jopa 5 runnaajaa, joista 4 ovat paikalla ja 1 on tuolta etäyhteyksien kautta. Kuten olemme jo tottuneet tässä tapahtumassa, niin meillä on taas kansainvälistä vahvistusta, joten tämä runi suoritetaan englanniksi. So, hello and welcome everyone who speaks the English language in this event. Welcome to FINNRUNS Winter 2025. Today we have some World of Warcraft M+ dungeon keys with 5 runners. So, I will throw this to you guys. Have fun and good luck.
Thank you. So, as said, we have an international group of people here. We're going to be doing a mythic key of a dungeon. This mechanic was introduced, like 8 years ago now? So, yeah, we have Cropax right here, our healer. I'm Jazzy and doing melee DPS, and then over behind the wall somewhere over there, we have Yisk on tank, and then Ollie on range DPS, and then Seth is really, really far away as another range DPS. Yeah, we're gonna have an in-game countdown for when the key starts, so the timer starts whenever that timer hits 0. And other than that, I think we're good to go for right now. 7 RC.
7 RC. Ready to check.
There's 2 timers,
Yeah, there's the first timer that we set, and then there's the actual timer that starts. So, not this one. There's gonna be another one after this.
5.
Sure,
4,
key Seth.
3, 2, 1.
Is there? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now's the actual countdown.
So, when this hits 0 is when we start.
Lesson of the void.
So the dungeon we're doing is City of Threads.
Ah, you've arrived. Our
Thank you,
friend
Lep.
awaits you in the high halls.
Right at the start here, we're gonna be getting an engineering buff. Cropax is our engineer. Makes the start of this a little bit easier. So, for the people that might be used to Classic going on right now, this might be a little overwhelming. We're doing much bigger pulls than people are normally used to, and there's a lot more swirlies and colors and just things on the floor in general. There's a lot more casting that also needs to be interrupted, which is one of the reasons why we're in the voice chat, so we can coordinate that better.
We also have a very specific route in mind, because one thing that we need to do for this dungeon is not only do we need to kill all the bosses, we also need to kill a certain percentage of mobs you can see over here on the right side, which doesn't necessarily include all the mobs in the dungeon. So we've planned very specifically which ones we're actually going to be doing. So right here, for example, we skipped that middle pack that we just ran around, so we can go straight back to this one here.
So right here, for instance, our priority target is the really big beetle right here, but also we simultaneously need to... Oh, that went off. The herald on the right there is casting Twisted Thoughts, which also needs to be interrupted constantly. So we have a lot of us use things called focus macros, so we can focus the herald while we're targeting the big beetle man, and we can interrupt the cast while we're killing the beetle.
Flying ladies up. Yeah, this is also one of the new things that they added for this season is they have certain affixes that'll be alive each week. So for this one, for example, it is that around like every 45 seconds, something like that, an extra like objective they have to complete spawns, where this one is a flying ghost lady will appear that you'll need to kill as quickly as possible. Because otherwise she'll, I think, both heal and buff the enemies. If I'm correct.
They get a damage reduction sheet.
Oh yeah. This is the first boss. One's pretty interesting, mostly because you have to be within this small circle the entire time, so you don't really have that much space to move with. And it adds a really, really annoying mechanic where 2 players are going to be targeted with a debuff that's going to shoot out balls from their location that hurts them a lot.
Which is why we try and stack inside of the boss so that the people with the debuff go outside. When the debuff expires, it shoots like these balls in like a star pattern. You want to try and aim those in a way that they don't go through the boss.
So far, we're doing pretty good. I don't think anybody's been hit. Cooldowns here. So this is the big damage thing that the boss does. So, ooh. Oh, we got caught out there. Yeah, well, every time the boss does the big AoE ability, that's when you want to move, because it'll start moving or putting down these little puddles on the ground, which will do a lot of damage.
That's a little awkward. Worked out far though.
Fine.
So with the level of keystone that we're doing, it's not like the absolute highest that there is, but a lot of like the mass AoE things that bosses do can still just immediately kill you if you don't use defensives.
We still do need to respect the dungeon at this level.
Not even worthy of the 5th strand.
But yeah, that was the first boss, and now we're moving on to the next like funny role-playing bit of the dungeon, where we need to run around this entire area here, and we need to look for spies. So first we need to kill this gatekeeper right here, called Zip-tiki-tiki, and then will give us a buff that we can then use to locate all the spies that are in this area here. And with
I'm
that,
rooted in the out of the wall.
you're fine.
Yeah, so fine.
Yeah, so with that buff, we can then run around and then locate all the different spies that are in this area here. So this is actually the first spy that we're killing right now. And you can actually, even though you're supposed to get the buff first, you can actually trigger this spy early. You're getting it earlier than you're supposed to. Because the enemies are actually alive still, even before you get the debuff to find the spies. So you can sort of do this early to save a bit of time.
Open your mind to the whispers.
No, I still do not.
Embrace who you truly are.
Never mind.
Oh, Ghost Lady.
Well, where are my pheromones?
You have pheromones, please?
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So now we're all set. Now we just need to run around this area, and they usually have like a certain area they can always spawn in. Like the first one will always spawn roughly in this area. So yeah, here it is. Here's the first spy that we need to fight. And there should be, what is it, 3 in total?
Yeah, 3, yeah.
This is the one dungeon, or part of the dungeon, that you can't really speed up too much, as it's sort of just set how quickly it's going to be going at this point. Just because you're just looking for the spies, and there isn't really much else in terms of routing you can really do in this part.
Yeah.
So this is the, I guess, auto-scroller part of the dungeon.
Yeah, you can't like walk.
Anybody remembers playing in Legion and the dungeon Court of Stars? This is kind of a similar vibe, a little bit. You can see on Cropax's screen probably the little ghost dudes that are popping up. They point you towards where the spies are.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can debate you a little bit.
Got a bad one here. One that's like all the way in the back. flying ghost lady here.
Thankfully, the Ghost Lady's cast is long enough where it isn't ever really an issue.
No, and for the most part, you can also just sort of cleave her down at the same time. So
Yeah.
you're usually already fighting a bunch of mobs, so she just becomes another enemy to kill, and she doesn't really do much like during the cast itself.
Yeah, especially with our team comp, which I guess we should mention. We have 2 Demon Hunters, which is less than conventional currently, but it does mean that we have a lot of AoE cleave, like burst damage.
Mm-hmm. Is it inside? No, it's in the back. I think this like loops around. I think this is bait. Oh shit!
Where are you, bro?
I got hit by the thing.
We have no healer.
I got webbed. Hold on.
Shield can heal.
External. Thanks.
Why is that one not in Narnia?
Nice chain lightning. Very cool. Hit some random yellow mobs. Oh, I love this.
Stay close and be quiet.
Alright, so that's the... Oh, sorry, yes, you want to say something?
Roleplay.
Yeah. It's the last bit of the roleplay, though. So once this door opens, there's going to be like another 20 seconds of roleplay, and then the second boss starts.
I also just realized that I most definitely am not hearing Discord right now.
I can hear Yisk and the others, but they're so low that I think we've cut them off so many times. Accidentally.
Yeah.
I see how it is. Okay.
I swear it's not on purpose.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Dear Nizrek, a traitor, our queen will be so disappointed.
That was good, Yisk.
First, your little pets will die. Then we'll make use.
Watch out. Please don't get one shot. Okay.
Open your mind to the whispers. Embrace your
So this is the second boss.
Yeah.
Uh,
Or bosses. Yeah, it's
yeah,
like a
but-
dynamic duo.
2 dudes at once. Very important that we don't
Stack up for Hydra.
stack these ice daggers, otherwise people will die. There's a chance here if we aim the little lines that you saw on screen towards the wall that they do exactly what they just did and don't really move, which is ideally what we want.
Stack up, stack up.
So in a moment here, Yisk is going to get a blue swirly, exactly this, where we all need to stack so that it goes away quickly.
For the most part, this boss is very much just dodge the abilities and don't stand into things kind of thing.
Open your mind to the whispers. Embrace who you
Ghost Lady's up.
Yeah, so this is what they normally do if you don't point them at the wall and they do the things. They just dash around the entire arena. Not ideal.
Warcraft just came up. Do I pass?
Yeah, next one. No one's stuck. Next close should just fall over.
Are we doing big pools?
Big pools here.
Our strength is strong.
I don't have meta though, but I guess we're fine.
We're gonna be so fine here, don't worry. We have 2 demon hunters, that's 2 metas.
Except for just that I don't have meta.
We have 1 meta. Oh, yeah.
Our tank is dead. So yeah, that's one of the problems with M+. Is if your tank dies, it almost all the time means that the entire group dies.
Yeah. Where was the external macro, bro?
I died quite impressive.
Really true.
Hey, we're not doing that again.
Okay, half pull, not so big pull this time.
Slightly smaller.
Yeah, one really cool thing about this dungeon system is you can see some, there's some competitions that happen sometimes. There's one really big one called the MDI, where you can see some people do some actually really insane dungeon runs. There's like different difficulty levels, because as mentioned earlier, we're doing currently a level 10, but some of the competition ones we do at like a level 6, which means it's much easier, but that also means you could do much like crazier, like riskier pulls, things like that. There's also ones where you try to push as high of a key level as possible, so like currently there are some teams doing like 18s and 19s and like really, really crazy things, so you can go really above and beyond with this.
Yeah, so once you get to a +12 is when the affix where the floating ghost lady is, that goes away entirely and it just goes to scaling difficulty. Everything just has more health and hits a lot harder. So let's say anything above like a 12 is actually like quite difficult.
Yeah, you can start just
It's already
Lost
done.
Oh, I just...
Yeah, because of the
I died. I died before the last one.
One thing I don't think we actually mentioned is you do need a specific amount of trash mobs in every dungeon to complete the key. On the timer, like on the right on Cropax's screen, you will see a percentage counter, and that needs to hit 100 before we complete the key.
Yeah. So for some groups, you'll see them do certain packs of enemies, whilst other groups will skip others, because it can be like entirely depend on like what comp you're running, like what abilities you have for the different classes, like which ones you decide to go for and which ones you decide to skip.
Yeah, certain enemies give more percentage than others.
And there's definitely for a lot of the dungeons like a meta for like which ones you should go for and which ones you should skip, but for the most part it's also down to like what is your group like most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Your composition.
For this specific enemy, we are very happy that we have a shaman with us, because this puts a poison debuff on people, and shamans have a thing called poison cleansing totem. And the debuff really hurts if you don't have that.
Yep, so it's really, really nice. And as a backup, at least the monk that I'm playing also has revival as a like nice backup tool to deal with it. Makes it really, really good.
Only you want to get the
The what? I can't hear you.
I can get it.
Nice.
Love the comms of, can you get this? I can't hear you. Sorry.
I can barely hear any of you.
Yeah, I mean, we can barely... I can only hear Jazzy because he's right here next to me,
Yeah.
to be fair.
I can hear Yisk if he speaks really loudly.
And now we're about to approach the third boss, which is my personal least favorite of this dungeon. It's very not fun to heal.
Yeah, the last two bosses are very heal intensive in this dungeon. So every once in a while, this boss, I guess we'll talk about it when it happens, but there'll be orbs that spawn that put like a heal debuff on you.
Yeah, so it'll absorb the healing that you do, so you sort of need to overheal people to actually be able to do any healing at all. Which really, really sucks, because if someone's low and they have the debuff on them, you really need to put in a lot of healing on them or to do anything.
So these orbs right here is what you want to...
One shot.
That is also an instant kill mechanic, the little circle around the boss. You do not want to stand in.
That circle used to not exist, by the way.
Open your mind to the listeners. Embrace me.
Ghost Lady.
Popping dark.
Dude, I got hit by one of those, I think. Actually high rolled darkness for once.
Darkness best defensive.
30% of the time is the best defensive in the game.
Oh, Zeph.
I'll... Darkness the next one.
Embrace me.
Ghost Lady's up. Dark Pulse.
Darknessing. Or none of you can also just stand in the darkness, that also works.
That's fine.
I stood in.
We don't need to be in the darkness. So, didn't need it.
Other side, other side.
Messy, but worthwhile in the end.
So now we only have like one hallway left, and then the final boss's room. There are a couple more monsters or ads we need to kill inside the room itself before we can actually start the final boss. So it'll still be a little bit, but we should be pretty good on percentage count on the right side by the time we actually make it to the final boss. So should be set here.
So persistent. For you, a reward. Witness the unparalleled wonder of transformation.
The little like mini boss dudes right here also showcase the abilities that the actual boss will do in a little bit. So right there, Umbral Weave or whatever the hell it is, boots you in place with a little cocoon thing that you have to actually manually kill. Or, like Yisk says, you can also, if you have a way to remove snares,
Open your mind.
that also works.
Yeah. Lots of little mechanics in this game where you have different ways to like avoid the mechanic entirely, or like some cool niche way to deal with it, which is really nice.
Is it a snare though, or is it a root?
This one's rude,
So
yeah.
not a snare, but
Yeah, because that's also a fun thing about this game. Those two things are actually two different things.
We just got some extra fire.
that's intentional.
You need the percent, for sure. Even though they don't give percent. Oh, is it not the egg boys?
No.
No, okay. Oh, just actual extra.
Enough. You've earned a
9
place
cent.
in my collection.
It's something with, like, if you die once, then you just don't have enough percent for the rest of the dungeon. So that's probably why.
Sure.
I don't even know if these guys get 3%.
Surely this is 3%. Surely your route is good.
Oh,
Definitely is with the extras that don't do anything.
Open your
We're farming a little extra mobs here.
You gotta pad the
we're seeing a lot
DPS
of
meters.
casts gonna go off. Hey, that's it. Did it. Good job, guys.
Only a little extra mob count there.
Do you want to explain the fight while we wait for Jazzy?
Yeah, sure. This is the final boss, Aizo. It's a tough-ass boss. She's gonna spawn like 3 orbs around her every once in a while, and she's gonna like throw those orbs at people at different areas, so you need to be constantly moving around to avoid the orbs that she throws at people. At the same time, she'll also do the like root thing that we saw earlier. She'll also do go. The root things, we need to free ourselves from the roots. So we'll just do like a giant AoE slam. You see these are the orbs that spawn here. So now we're just going to be circling around the room to avoid these. On top of that, just constant damage is going to be going out on people randomly, which is always a lot of fun. Here's the slam. Ow. Oh yeah, there's also ads. There's just a billion things on this boss. Orbs, orbs, orbs.
Yeah, everything you saw, like with the mini bosses, to slap all of those into this boss.
Mm-hmm.
With the added of orbs flying in your face. Here's the Humble Weave.
Orbs.
Outside for this?
I thought you would go further away than that, but okay.
No.
We have res on Crow.
Thank you.
Kill emissary.
Orbs. Orbs again. Orbs, 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 orbs.
Weave.
I'm going outside again. I'm staying in melee range though.
Yeah, that ability also, I don't think we mentioned earlier, it's just a tank ability. She'll just take all 3 orbs and just nuke the tank with them. So the tank can take it. Everybody else very much cannot take it. So
Yeah. Time is also coming up in a little bit, by the way.
yeah,
There we go.
and
That's
time.
Answerek will be absolutely
Oh yeah, did Ollie get Keystone
he
Hero?
did.
Oh, let's go. We're doing achievements for all.
Plus 42.
Easy. No boots though.
No boots. Maybe next time.
Maybe next season.
But yeah, that was the dungeon run, Mythic Plus. It's really, really cool, a lot of fun. Definitely recommend people getting into it. You can do some really crazy routing if you really want to go far and push high. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything you want to say?
I think you nailed it, honestly. It's a very different game to what Classic is, but I do enjoy it a lot.
Mhm.
It's yeah,
Yeah.
Game good.
Game good, go play. Very nice.
Yes.
That's us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jazzy. Thank you, Yisk. Thank you, Oli. Thank you, Cropax. Thank you, Sephinel. This did not make me want to go back to retail. Thank you very much for this. Palaamme kohta seuraavan pelin parissa. Älkää menkö minnekään.